Let's get right into it. You're saying it's big tech's $10 trillion bet on politics as usual. Are investors wrong? What are they missing that you're seeing? I know Morgan Stanley and some other, Cowen as well, see a lot of risk for big tech. But I think the big question here, does more regulation mean less revenue and less profit?
I think that's a big question, and we don't really know because we don't know what kind of regulations might take place. I think what you're seeing, I think the dynamic you're seeing with investors, Frank, is that they've been kind of lulled by now, I think, multiple years of kind of threats from Washington to crack down with nothing really materializing yet. If you think about it, it goes all the way back to the 2016 election and questions about Facebook's role in that. And then that kind of snowballed into talking about the role of other tech companies and how big they've gotten. So now we're 5 years into this, kind of era of controversy. And I think it's been easy for investors to say, well, and Washington's so sharply divided. I think it's been easy for investors to say, well, we don't really see anything actually really happening. And as a result, they're not really pricing, I think, any risk into those stocks for that.
Dan, it's Kelly here, and I appreciate you sort of pointing out the risks. But at the same time, there's an implication that they are friendly enough with regulators to be able to kind of shape the direction that any regulation could go.
And I don't think that perception is totally wrong. I don't know if I'd term it as friendly, but consider the story my colleagues ran on Facebook earlier this week, where, in response to, the latest stuff with Facebook files and other controversies, what Facebook has done is kind of they become kind of wise to the Washington game, playing off one side of the aisle against the other. So you can't dismiss the lobbying and legal muscle these companies have to, try to head things off before they start. And we've seen that being successful so far. I think betting on that it will continue to be successful in the future and nothing will come of all these threats, that might still be a risky position.